Saturday, October 24th on Accelerated Radio Network. This is Black Gold.
You are black gold, black gold. You are black gold.
Welcome once again to Black Gold, the show where every week we celebrate all the great music and music makers who are part of, inspired by, or derived from the canon of great black music. Become a full or partial show sponsor of Black Gold on Accelerated Radio and let us carry your brand to a mature listening audience of Gen Xers and millennials with discriminating tastes, cultural pride, and an active desire to support and lift the black community. Find out on acceleratedраdio.net how your sponsorship of our shows go to support the Accelerated Radio Academy, where the next great generation of great radio producers and podcasters are being born. To become a sponsor of Black Gold or to become a community partner, reach out to us online at radioblackgold.com/sponsors and by email at radioblackgold@gmail.com and become part of the show that celebrates all that is golden and all that is black. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'm Tariq King. I had to screw up something, didn't I? All is well and getting better here at Black Gold, and I hope we can say the same for you. All right, gentlemen. All right, everybody. So one of the richest traditions in black music is our tradition of vocal groups, right? From like Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers to the Temptations to the Four Tops and the Miracles, the soul groups of the 70s. You know, the music that we've enjoyed from black vocal groups of the 20th century, I assure you, will continue to be played throughout the 21st. So today we're going to take the time to celebrate the male R&B groups of the 90s, and we want to hear from you today on Black Gold. Let's have some fun. Come on.
You are black gold, black gold. You are black gold. You are black gold, black gold. You are black gold. You are.
Thank you, Esperanza. Wherever you are, let's go to the 90s.
When I was a young boy, I had visions of fame. They were wild and they were free, and they were blessed with my name.
And then I grew older, and I saw what's to see. But the world is full of pain, and my dreams they left me.
And then I got stronger and tired of the pain.
That's when I picked up the pieces, and I regained my name.
And I fought hard, y'all, to carve out my place. And right now, you look at me, and it don't seem in vain.
Your dreams ain't easy, just stick by your place. Go from boy to man, you gotta act like a man. When it gets hard, dog, God was to know. And my background certain.
You
Y'all know that one, right? That's a good place to start because we're doing, we turned down a little bit low, but that one is from the 1994 soundtrack to Jason's Lyric. They called it Black Men United. They call that one You Will Know. And the reason I decided to lead off with that one is because that one actually contains like a whole bunch of the folks that we're going to be celebrating today, members of various different black groups of the 90s. And so if you are listening and you are a Gen Xer like me, and that was like just about the time of the prime of your life, and you have some memories from the male groups of the 90s, we're going to want to talk to you later when I throw out the number. But first of all, let me talk to my boy. How you doing, Rashid?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. All right. Any news? And listen, they gave me the feedback. Don't do too much politics. So I'm just
Okay,
like, what I mean? Well, not so much. Don't do it, but just don't take too long.
Okay, so we did got some news. As we know, Tory Lanez came out with his side of the story of what happened within that fateful car incident.
All right, make it quick.
And so, it's so fact he's told his side of the story, and it punches holes. Well, literally punches holes into what Megan Thee Stallion, because literally, if you got shot in the foot, there's bones in your foot. It's saying it didn't hit a bone.
Where did it hit?
Apparently,
heel.
It's
She was shot in the bottom of her heel.
No, in fact, I guess it grazed her, but it didn't.
So he's a bad aim. His aim is bad.
But at the same time, how do you know it was him who shot you when you in the front seat and he in the back seat?
Oh,
and
Lord.
And you saying that he shot you in the foot?
All right. So that's what the Twitterverse is twittering about right now?
Yes.
All right. No comment. I just think everybody needs to make better choices in friends. All right. So back to the...
And that presidential debate. But it's like, yeah.
You vote?
Yes.
Because you saw me fill out the ballot last week, right?
Yes.
Dropped it off. It's done. I don't feel a need to listen anymore.
Nope.
What else gonna do? I can't take it back and change my mind. Oh, he said something. I'm gonna vote for the crazy dude, right?
No, we just leaving the goddamn right now.
Yeah, and everything that we talked about with the so-called opinion leaders from our community, I think that's pretty much resolved itself over the last week.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think everybody really knows, except for the one with the the 35 cent. You know what I mean? Like he really, you know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh my
then
goodness.
it goes up and it's like 51 cent, but then when the tax man come calling, no, I only got 15 cent. Whatever. I'm glad that we resolved that.
That's him, I'm talking about his tax bracket, because his tax bracket is in the upper class.
And I'm glad that he was so dumb enough to be so transparent about it. So it's good that I hope we've got together that we all are going to do what we need to do. And we're going to go back to the vocal groups of the 90s. I want to make sure that I get out that first of all, that You Will Know. Are you familiar with that one? Because that was like people are on YouTube and saying, that song makes me cry. I always thought it was a really nice song. But I call it's like how they call super groups when like that's like I call that the ultra mega group. It's totally corny, but it's like a South Park call out. You know what I mean? But yeah, that actually was written by D'Angelo in his real youth. That was 1994. I was gonna try to figure out his age in 1994, but I just don't have it. But D'Angelo, it's a heavy thing to produce a track, write and produce a track with Aaron Hall, After 7, I'll Be Sure, Boyz II Men, Brian McKnight, Christopher Williams, DRS, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Damian Hall, El DeBarge, Gerald Levert, H-Town, Ice-T, Intro, another group, Joe, Keith Sweat, Lenny Kravitz on guitar. That's a hell of and we're not even done yet. Joe and Little, Joe from the Rude Boys, Portrait, R. Kelly, Silk, Soveries, Stokely from Mint Condition, Tevin Campbell, Tony, or two of them anyway, so Tony and Tony. No, it was Raphael and Dwayne of Tony. Usher and Snoop Dogg. That's a hell of a session to produce when you're a kid, man. So shout out to D'Angelo, and if you have not seen the documentary D'Angelo Devil's Pie, please try to find that as I'm trying to find the filmmaker so that I can talk to her about the process of making that film. D'Angelo's great musician. So, the 90s was a renaissance period for groups. We had a real great, as I mentioned in the intro, there's a tradition of vocal groups that leads, at least, we're only going to think about this century, so we're going to go back to doo-wop, I don't know, whatever. You can go further back than that, even with the swing groups. But from the 90s, when I say to you, Rashid, 90s R&B vocal male group, what free association, what comes to mind?
Blackstreet.
Nice. All right. One more. Quick.
Back in my male, Boys to Men.
There you go. All right. I don't want to say there you go like I expected that, but I expected that because, yeah, I mean, I think that they're kind of obviously they're the biggest selling of them all, right? But here is just a partial listing. As I look at this, a couple of others have popped to me, and I wrote them down. But the research has found that there's no real definitive number on the popular R&B groups of the '90s. There were a gazillion of them. Let's just go through the partial list, starting with the numbers: 112.
Okay, I know.
3T,
Okay.
4 p.m.
Huh?
Right. But you can look them up. So, you know what I mean? Make a list, everybody. These are the folks. Not all of them are bad. I mean, that's not a good way to say it. I mean, some of them are. some of them
are good
Some
artists.
of them are all right. Yeah. No, I mean, some of them are actually really impressive vocally. Anyway, 4 p.m., 7 Mile. They were very impressive vocally. And I think they were on Mariah's label. Shout to Lalisha. A Few Good Men, All for One, As Yet. They were really good. BBD. Belle Biv DeVoe, Boys to Men, Blackstreet, Color Me Bad, Drew Hill, Guy, H-Town, High Five, Ideal, Imagine, shout out to my ex, Immature, Jagged Edge,
Oh yeah,
Jodeci.
Jagged Edge. Yes.
Okay.
Jagged Edge, Jodeci. Yeah.
Jodeci. Yeah, okay. KC and JoJo.
Okay.
Levert, Men of Vision,
Okay.
shout out to LaGuardia. Mr. Profile. I keep reading pro life, but it's Profile with a Y, Profyle, and I had heard of them back then too. Shy, Silk, Solo, Troop, Soul for Real, UNV. That's just a partial list. I don't know. We can count them up, but and we can still think of more. But there were so many of them. What I want to do is do a deep dive on a couple of them. So. We want you to call us with your favorites. I'm obviously not going to get to everybody on this list. So wait a minute, see. And what I'm going to start with is one that's not on this list. Hey, how about that? If you know me at all, you know who my favorite R&B group is. So let's just go on ahead and get host prerogative out of the way, and we'll come back and talk about them after the fact. But get ready or not. It's about after 7. That's my number one on Black Gold. Come on.
I'll give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. I'll give you the world and all that you wish for, and even more. Girl, I'll love you more than you could know, and that's for sure. I climb the highest hill, cross the widest sea. Nothing could discourage me, and I pray that you'll be always there for me, forevermore. Oh, ready or not,
Cincinnati. No, man, let me mess it up. Indianapolis, Indiana. That would be After 7. Kevon Edmonds, Melvin Edmonds, and Daryl, whose name I don't have in front of me. But that is, as I always like to say at the top of the show, it's host prerogative to just go on ahead and lead with what I like. All right. And so, Rashid, you're not that familiar with the, I've managed to curate a couple of, good R&B groups that I think people should know about. Like, you should know their individual names, and if you remember the songs, that's cool. But you can call us and tell us what your, we say 90s male R&B groups. Who do you think about what you want to hear? Don't call me with Boyz II Men. We already know that. But the number's 310-910-9676. I hope the Village gives us a call. There was a, on a perfect day. You hear that, right? I know that I can't turn it up. Count on you. I want to audition for the replacement. All right. All right. So there was a quartet from Long Island, New York, Wheatley Heights specifically, consisting of 4 brothers: Christopher, a.k.a. Chuck, Andre, Brian, Bry, and Jason Dalrymple, the Dalrymple brothers, and they comprised a quartet. They were 4 sons of a bishop and a reverend, and one of the brothers was actually singing Boyz II Men songs. They just did an interview on, stop distracting me. They just did an interview on The Breakfast Club in April of last year, April 2019, so you can check this out. But this group, it's the group Soul For Real. One of the brothers was singing Boyz II Men tunes at his job at McDonald's, and they had been having some, as they said on this particular interview, some sort of challenges, like staying out of the streets, right? And so, they decided to form a group. And when one of the managers, this is like, now this isn't really the fairy tale version of it, but one of the managers was the first one to encourage him, and then they ended up meeting some people who introduced him to Andre Harrell and Heavy D, and ultimately they were the last really big group on Uptown MCA. They're back, and they're trying to make a go of it once again. So I encourage you to check out that interview on The Breakfast Club in April of last year. It's one of the Breakfast Club interviews. It's actually really kind of enlightening. But as we wait for you to call us and tell us what you love, I'm going to play another one that we love, and I'm going to teach Rashid about Soul For Real. Y'all know this one. Candy Coated Raindrops, baby. Candy Rain. Let's go.
She goes away.
So what's up? Butter. You like him? No doubt. You like Sid? What's up? What's up, Dre?
I like him.
Candy Rain. We love that one. And this is a good example. I love the examples of the groups that don't have the tragic ending and, you know, the whole breakup. These are four brothers who hung together then. They hang together. They had some adversity in the music business. Definitely talked about that. But they are intact. And I, again, invite you to check out that interview. So I got something here, but somebody's got something for me. We've got a caller. You're live on Black Gold.
Hey, my brother, how you doing?
I didn't think this one would take you too long. How you doing? That's my brother, the regular caller. You know, our
right.
sort of village. You know what I'm saying? Like families representing. We appreciate that. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm doing male groups.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think it's worth. By the way, I think it's worth mentioning to you and to the audience that we had a sort of high-level conversation about like '90s groups. The female groups will be next week. So if anybody has that,
right, good
we're
enough.
gonna do the female groups of the '90s next week. So what's on your mind?
Oh, well, you know, I the typical ones you have. You know, I would like for you to play that "Can You Stand the Rain." That's the jam.
I didn't sing
Wow.
good enough.
You sound great, but you know what I want here.
Well, here's the thing. All right, wait, Rashid, though, do me a favor though. And there's a reason that that's not on my playlist. You know what I mean? So we'll tag that as time permitting. And the reason why, Rashid, do me a favor, check out when that one was released. I think it might have been like 90 or 91. So technically that song qualifies. But if the show,
It should fall in.
brother, I know you came first, but all right. So if the show is about, and I thought about it. I wrestled with it when we're finalizing the playlist, and I said, well, you know what though. New Edition, it's an 80s group.
1988.
There you go. They're an 80s group.
Okay, you at the end of the.
See, you know what I mean? My instinct
But
kind of, I didn't
one
even
for-
look that up. I was like, we referenced New Edition, and they are an 80s reference. Bobby Brown is an 80s reference.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but he left.
I know, but he had the solo. I'm just saying that was all the 80s.
But
you
there
know?
was one group that did it in the 90s.
And that would be
But
Belle
Johnny
Biv DeVoe.
Gill didn't
No,
get
Boyz
there
II Men.
till almost the 90s, right?
Well, say that again.
Johnny Gill didn't get there till almost the 90s.
Well,
right?
obviously he was there in '88 because he's all over that tune, and that's when it came out.
He ain't showing up his all over that too. But here's my pick though. Here's my pick. They're called what is it? Mint Condition.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Look at me. I
And,
sounded so
who is
excited.
it?
Wait. Let me. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty Brown Eyes.
We got that for you, brother.
There you go.
That's right. That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
We got that for you. All right. So let me set it up properly because I have a whole thing for mint condition so I could teach the people. And we'll
Okay.
just jump ahead and give you that right now as opposed to later
That's no
on.
problem.
Yeah. All right. I love you, brother. Let's
All
touch
right.
base this week. All right.
Love you back. I'll talk to you too.
All right. Thank you, brother. Thanks for calling. Yeah, I got to appreciate family. You know, when you're out all over, on the other side of the country by yourself,
Yeah.
he's at least going to check in on you on your show. All right. So mint condition came into being during the early 1980s. All right. But the hits were in the night. Just stay with me. All right. So at first, the band consisted of lead singer Stokely Williams, lead guitarist Homer Odell, and guitarist Larry Waddell. Keyboardist saxophonist Jeff Allen, keyboardist percussionist rhythm guitarist Kerry Lewis, and bass guitarist Rick Clinchin. That was the original lineup. They were discovered by Jam and Lewis. I think they're from Minneapolis, and they were discovered by Jam and Lewis in 1989. So the discovery was at the end of the 90s. At the end of the 80s. They were discovered by Jam and Lewis during a performance at the downtown Minneapolis club First Avenue. You know, the one from Purple Rain. Jam and Lewis, they signed Mint Condition to Perspective Records shortly afterwards. So the debut album Meant to Be Mint was released on June 11th, 1991 by Perspective. Despite the band's musical versatility, you know, it was all about New Jack Swing at the time. But they did enjoy major success with the one that my brother asked for. Breaking My Heart, Pretty Brown Eyes stayed on the charts for 34 weeks, hitting the R&B top 5. It was number 3. And on the pop charts, they made number 6. And they were certified gold. Go on ahead, Mint Condition. This is a good one. So on Black Gold is Pretty Brown Eyes, Breaking My Heart. Come on.
Pretty brown eyes, you know I see you. It's a disguise, the way you treat me. Pretty, keep holding on your heart is in the right place. No, I won't let you down. Yeah, yeah. You can't disguise all the bonding of your heart. Yeah. I see your eyes, and you can hide. Start to make sense and quit playing these love games. Yeah. Tell me what you're gonna do. Yeah. Quit breaking my heart. Yeah. I'm breaking my heart. Yeah. Breaking my heart. Breaking my heart. Yeah. I just want to know one thing. Will you be with me? Here comes my darling, here comes romance, here comes my love. Breaking my heart. Breaking my heart, yeah. Breaking my heart, yeah. Breaking my heart, oh, yeah. Breaking my heart, yeah. Got me crying all inside. I'm talking about you.
Yeah, they're still gonna be playing that one in 2055. I promise you. Breaking My Heart, Pretty Brown Eyes. Yep, that's one of the kings from the 90s R&B groups. All right, so, and they're still out there, and that's one of those things that I like to lead with, you know, that you, most of the, because we hear, you know, the Five Heartbeats have really got a lot of us, you know, messed up. Like, they really, there's this kind of trope that's supposed to happen with a lot of musicians, black musicians and groups, and, you know, that there's almost supposed to always be some kind of tragic ending. But it doesn't always work out like that. Like, these guys are still out there. So I want to talk to you for a minute about the next group because, all right, unfortunately, this is one of those that actually has that tragic ending. Sort of. I don't know. It's weird. It's a mixed ending. It's unfortunate. But this is a group that was originally signed to Jive Records in late 1989, and they released their eponymous debut album in 1990. The album went platinum. It was produced by Teddy Riley. It included such singles as I Just Can't Handle It, which was number 10 on R&B charts, and then the R&B number one that I'm about to play. Their biggest hit to date is one that if we got time for, we might sneak it in. I like the way, the Kissing Game. All right, that was, you know, who were they? Number one on the Billboard Hot 100. Yeah, big hit, all right? So, this would be High Five. So High Five, they put out another record in 1992. It wasn't as successful as the first record, but several tracks of them actually did do well. She's Playing Hard to Get. Pop was number 5 on the pop charts and number 2 on the R&B charts. And then they had a tune that R. Kelly gave them that went to number 3 on the R&B. It got a lot of play. I remember hearing called Quality Time. I remember hearing that in New York a lot. But then after that second album was released, the group was involved in a car accident, and it left one of the members, Roderick Clark, paralyzed from the chest down. So then in 1993, they came out with the third album, Faithful. Did moderately well on the R&B charts, and also had a song called Unconditional Love that was also featured in Menace to Society. So that one received a lot of airplay throughout 1993. There was a song called Never Should Have Let You Go that was on the Sister Act 2 soundtrack. So these guys were around a lot. And then they sort of faded to obscurity. And one of the unfortunate things is things took a turn in June of 2007. Tony Thompson, I'm sorry, did I do all the leaders' names? We don't have the names here. I'll do that coming out of it. Tony Thompson, who was the lead singer, his body was discovered in June near an air conditioning unit outside of an apartment complex in the town where the group came from, Waco, Texas. The autopsy later determined that he had died from toxic effects of huffing the Freon from the air conditioner. In 2001, Treston Irby, Treston is from the Bronx actually, and
Drugs are bad, kids. Drugs are bad, kids.
Drugs are bad, especially the ones you got to really improvise like that,
Right.
But he was really, really, really a great singer. And as a matter of fact, Tony Thompson put out a solo project that I need to get my hands on. I haven't heard it. If anyone has heard it, let me know. In any event, they reconstituted again in 2011. They had a couple of new members. So it was 3 of the original members, Treston is anyway. They released a single called Favorite Girl on the BMW label, but then tragedy struck again 2 years later. One of the former members was charged with murder in the stabbing death of his wife in Houston. He didn't get convicted of it because he was found incompetent to stand trial. So this is one of those unfortunate stories, but they're not all like that. You know what I mean? It gets intense. But my favorite, y'all know the Kissing Game. My little rendition that you just got is all you're gonna get. I would like to, in sort of respect to Tony Thompson and everybody, I think they really killed vocally on this one. It was the number one, right? This one was number one. I have to scroll up, guys. Number one on the R&B charts and number 8 on the pop charts. Beautiful ballad. I Can't Wait Another Minute on Black Gold.
I've been waiting so long for this chance. Can we talk alone? But I can't wait another minute. Little lady, you look so fine. Can't turn my eyes away. So much I wanna say. Tonight, I wanna make you mine. We'll turn the lights down low and dance so very slow. I know that we don't know each other well, but I can't believe I'm wasting your time. Oh no, so tell me what to do for the love of you tonight.
'Cause I've been holding back what I feel, love so real. But I can't wait another minute. I can't wait another minute. 'Cause I've been holding back all I feel. I'm for real. 'Cause I can't wait another minute. I can't wait another minute for your love. Your love. Ooh, 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 ooh.
No.
Oh no, baby.
Sweet lady, don't you look away. I don't mean to make you shy, but we had
can't wait another minute. No, I can't wait another minute for your love.
Your love. Oh, yeah. I know that we don't know each other well, but I can't believe I'm wasting your time. Oh, no. So tell me what to do for the love of you tonight. 'Cause I feel woo.
But I can't wait another minute. I can't wait another minute. 'Cause I've been holding back all of it. I'm for real. 'Cause I can't wait another minute. I can't wait another minute for your love.
I can't wait another minute.
Not another minute. But I can't wait another minute. I can't wait another minute. 'Cause I've been
Yes, man. Rest in peace, Tony Thompson. I got to do a little bit of research, and I do want to hear the solo Tony Thompson music. But yeah, that's a real pretty one, and that would be High Fives. I can't wait another minute. All right, so I got something here, but hello as before, someone has something. No, they're going. All right, so let's talk about the next group that I've curated. You had a caller. What happened?
They're having some
For like phone problems.
Yeah.
All right. That's all right. That's all right. We got a little bit of time.
They'll call back.
Don't call me at 3:53 asking for a 10-minute song, because then I have to hang Rashid out to dry. All right. So all right. I'm about to move forward. I love it when this happens, when I'm just kind of in suspended motion here. All right. We got somebody? All right. Because the story time shall pause, and somebody has something for me, and that person is now live on Black Gold. What you got?
Hi, Black Gold. How are you?
Oh, I'm feeling good today. I am feeling good today.
Good. That's good. Well, two things. Here's my song, Silk, Lose Control. Okay, absolutely love that song. And the second thing is I'm having a debate with my sister because she's trying to say that because Johnny Gill joined the group, that New Edition became a new group. And I'm trying to explain to her that New Edition is an 80s group that transcended to the 90s and then into the 2000s.
So are you asking for my input?
No, I'm just saying it because I know she's listening, and I know she's over here screaming. I'm trying to explain to her. So I agree with you, and she's yelling. So I agree with you when you said your first one that they are 80s. So this is to your brother's story. They're not a 90s group.
Thank you. And
I'm on their side
even
for
though
that.
you're not asking for my feedback, which is very cute, I'm going to give it anyway because I'm here. Tell her this. Tell her that even if her hypothesis were true, he still joined the group before they released the song in 1988. So he still joined the group in the 80s. So if they became a new group, they became a new group in the 80s. And then tell her to fall back and buy a Black Gold t-shirt.
Terrible. She about to be mad. So yeah, that's my song. Lose Control.
Fortunately, you, my darling. We have Lose Control here. Tell her, Rashid.
Yeah, we have it here.
It's the next one.
Thank you. Yes, Rashid. Good job. Thanks.
He didn't do that. I did that.
Can he have some love, please?
If he earns it, can I have some love? His mama's in town. I'm by myself. Oh, by myself. All right. All right. Let me do some history teaching. Like I got some sense here. We'll do Lose Control. I got you.
All right.
Anything else?
Later, guys.
Much love. Thank you for calling. Silk is comprised of the members My goodness. I
Okay, let's
enjoy the
go.
people. I enjoy the people.
Give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want, you know, unless they ask for Amy Winehouse today. Silk is comprised of the members.
We gotta let that go.
I'm sorry. I need to do therapy behind that one. You know, it tormented me for about a week.
Gotta make me go to
All right.
rehab.
All right.
I said,
No. Stop it.
Okay.
Silk now, you know, are comprised of the members Gary Glenn, Jonathan Rasborough, Timothy Cameron, James Jimmy Gates, and Gary Jenkins. They formed in 1989 in Atlanta, Georgia. They're best known for their 1993 hit single "Freak Me," which is interesting because I don't remember that one. I was kind of
I
improvising it.
remember the name, but I need to listen to the song itself just to.
We'll check that out when we're spinning the one that we know we like. Because I don't remember, but it did reach number 1 on the U.S. Hot 100. So there you go. In 1994, Silk won Album of the Year for "Lose Control" at the Soul Train Music Awards. Silk was discovered. Did you know that Silk was discovered by Keith Sweat? That might be his greatest artistic contribution to music. All right, so in 2003, they were down to a quartet. They released their 5th studio album called Silk Time on their own label, Silk Music Group. It featured the song Silk Time, My Girl, Alibi, More, etc. Song reunited them with their mentor, Keith Sweat, and it did appear in the Billboard 200. But here's the thing. All right, so Our Lady asked for "Lose Control." I've got that programmed in. But I told Rashid when I got in here, I said, Rashid, we're going to do this "Lose Control" because I love it and I brought it, but we're going to interrupt it because there's something about Silk that I want them to hear. So what we're going to try to do, right, we're going to try to get these 2 in. I'm going to give a little bit more of "Lose Control" than I was planning to give because we give the people what they want. But in 2006, the group returned with their 6th album. It's a covers album called "Always and Forever," as in the Heatwave song. It's on Shinachi Records. Now, Shinachi Records seems to be pretty good at allowing black artists to do what they do. So whatever they wanted, like artistic freedom. Mickey Howard, one of her really great ones, was released on Shinachi Records, and a couple other people. This album is a covers record, so it features covers of R&B songs, including "Adore" by Prince. All right, now you gonna try and do a cover on that? You better be prepared. And all right, "Adore" by Prince, "Always and Forever," of course. "The Secret Garden" by Quincy Jones. "The Secret Garden" was the only single that they released. But I want you guys, if you have Apple Music or Spotify, something like that, check out that covers album. I'm going to play one after some of "Lose Control" because I was in the car before I came in, and this one came on. I listened to the album on the way over, and this one set me ablaze, so I want to make sure I share it with you. So we're going to give you that "Lose Control." You know it, you love it, but then I want you to hear them do a classic, and they did Blue Magic Sideshow. We'll go from one to the next on Black Gold.
I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you, baby. No, I really didn't. I'm so sorry. I just want you to sit down just a minute. Let me talk to you.
Last night we had an argument. You told me you loved me. All the things I said I never meant. No, baby, I didn't mean to make you cry. I didn't mean to make you say bye, bye, bye. Baby, won't you let me look inside your soul? My baby, yeah. Let me make you lose control. Let me make you lose control. Let me be the one you I wanna be the one for you, girl. Baby, just come to me. Just come on. Now tell me, girl, what you want from me. Whatever it is you desire, I wanna give my baby. I wanna feel your body yearn.
This is rough. This is rough. But we have to allow some room for discovery. If you don't mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm sorry, my lady. We love you, but I have to stick with the original plan. And, all right, Rashid. Who them boys are singing? But that one was in the 90s. You know, that one was actually, 1993, 1994. And usually when groups move forward in age, you know, they don't keep the same sort of thing, right? But these guys are still out there. So, talk about Keepers of the Flame. Let's listen to Sideshow, the Blue Magic classic, as recorded on the Always and Forever album by Silk. Come on.
Before the show begins, my friends, stand in line, get your tickets. I hope you will attend. It'll only cost you 50 cents to see what life has done to those like you and me. See the man with the broken heart, you see that he is sad. He hurts so bad, so bad, hurts so bad. See the girl who has lost the only love she ever had. There's got to be no sadder show to see. No doubt about it, satisfaction's guaranteed. So let the sideshow begin. Hurry, hurry, step right on in. Can't afford to pass it by. Guaranteed to make you cry. Sideshow begin. Oh, step right on in. Can't afford to pass it by. Guaranteed to make you cry. See the man who's been crying for a million years. Oh, so many tears. So many tears. See the girl who's collecting broken hearts for souvenirs. It's more exciting than a one-man band. The saddest little show in all the land. So let the sideshow. Hurry, hurry. Can't afford to pass it by. Guaranteed to make you cry. Sideshow begins. Step right on in. Step right on in. Can't afford to pass it by. Guaranteed to make you cry.
Talk about Keepers of the Flame. They are doing it. To the gentleman from Silk, man, I tip my hat. Y'all did that. And again, I recommend the Black Gold family. Do please check out the Always and Forever CD. Now, they did put out another record. Their 7th album called Quiet Storm was also released on Shinachie. I have not heard that one yet, but it was released in March of 2016. and they had this big concert in BB King's in New York, 20-year anniversary. Good for them, man. It's really good to see that they're holding up. So, all right, you hear them behind me. We got a little bit of time here. So we know who the number one male vocal group of the 90s is. So let's just go on ahead and tell you about them before we get as much of them in as we can. Apologies to Boyz II Men. Time is a tyrant, but you guys are still getting airplay. So I really don't feel too bad about this one. Boyz II Men were formed in 1987 at Philadelphia's High School of the Creative and Performing Arts. Nathan and a guy named Mark Nelson had been singing together for several years, but they had trouble keeping the group together because everybody would graduate out. So Boyz II Men are best known for emotional ballads and a cappella harmonies. In the 90s, they were a quartet: Nathan Morris, Wanye Morris, Sean Stockman, and the bass, Michael McCrary. Baby, I'm so sorry. But Michael McCrary left the group in 2003 due to complications from multiple sclerosis. So now they are currently a trio. They are among the music industry's elite with regard to time spent at number one in Billboard history, 50 weeks cumulative, ranking fourth behind Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and Mariah Carey. Furthermore, the one we're about to play took the number one spot away from the one that's playing right now. They became only the third artist ever to replace themselves at number one. They are still the men. Boyz II Men. And so my personal favorite, we got a couple minutes, so let's give you the one that I think they really hollered on, and I challenge you to argue with me about this. This is the best one. On Bended Knee on Black Gold.
Girl, it's driving me insane, and I know I just need one more chance to prove my love to you. And if you come back to me, I'll guarantee that I'll never let you go. Can we go back to the days our love was true? Can you tell me how a perfect love goes wrong? Can somebody tell me how to get things back the way they used to be? Oh God, give me the reason I'm down on bended knee. I'll never walk again until you come
Y'all should hear me in here pleading with Rashid. I'm saying, Rashid, please don't do this. Don't be vicious, Rashid. I'm not gonna stop doing that. Time is the tyrant, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the Boyz II Men continue to perform worldwide as a trio. Their most recent studio album was called Under the Streetlight, and it was released in 2017. So here's hoping that when COVID calms its little self down and when we get back to something resembling normal, we'll be able to go to a Boyz II Men show because they're still out there. And I don't know about you, but I want to go to a Silk show after hearing that song. So, at any point, as you can hear, this is the point in the show where we want to shout out the community partners, the local black businesses who provide material support to our show, should we have one. So check us out at radioblackgold.com/sponsors to find out how to be one. As always, thank you, Kevin Nash, the boss man. Thank you, Ms. Bailey, our researcher. Thank you, Rashid. To our loyal and growing audience, we see you, we appreciate you, and as Esperanza says, you are Black Gold. Stay tuned for James the Music Man and Classic Jams. Life's a celebration, and we'll do it again next Saturday. Bye.
Black gold, black gold. You are black gold. You are black gold, black gold. You are black gold.
Black Gold's a production of King Things, LLC, Accelerated Radio Network, LA.